Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. I'm your coach, Rick Gailey, along with our Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nato. And we're very fortunate today to have two of the great John Curtis Patriot outside linebackers. First, Bo Wallace, who plays right outside linebacker, and Mike Cochran, who plays left outside linebacker. Welcome to PRI, gentlemen.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Let's start with you, Bo. You just made a major decision last weekend. Yes. You pulled the trigger. You're going to be in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. What schools did you consider, Bo, before Notre Dame, and why Notre Dame?
Well, before I committed to Notre Dame, I was considering places like Texas, UCLA, Oregon, and places of that sort. But I committed to Notre Dame because out of the spite of the education and the football and the history behind it, like even though I come from a school with history, you know, being Coach JT, one of the winningest coaches in, you know, the state of Louisiana, and then moving up to Notre Dame, South Bend, and having history all over again. So it's just something that I really enjoy.
Mike, you are getting looked at right now by McNeese, Southeastern, and some other schools. Where are you in a recruiting process, and when are you going to start making visits, and when are you going to make your final decision?
Well, right now I'm really in a process of just picking out who I want, you know, not just athletically, but academically also. I'm going to see, you know, talk to the coaches. I might make some visits in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. And is there a date that you want to decide, I want to finish now, or are you going to go all the way to signing day?
I'm going to go on signing day.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, we're going to talk about the outside linebacker position a bit. And it's a unique situation that you play on the left side and right side. Why don't you tell me first about what you have to do as an outside linebacker, and then finish up that with what qualities Bo has that makes him such a superb outside linebacker.
Well, for an outside linebacker at John Curtis, you always want to keep contained. You want to stop the run, but also stop the pass, be a good pass rusher. And for Bo, he is an outstanding pass rusher, and also he could stop the run. I've learned a lot of things from him in the past couple of years, and I really, not, you know, we're the same age, but I look up to him. He's a very outstanding athlete, and he's got a good mindset for the game.
Okay, Bo, your turn.
Like Mike said the first time, being an outside linebacker at Curtis, everything's to keep everything inside and make sure everything goes into the hands of the linebackers and nothing goes too deep. But I like Mikey a lot. When I first got there, Mikey was the first person I talked to, cling to as a person, and I learned a lot from him as well, as he's learned a lot from me, especially with pass rushing moves. His first get off is something that we've both, himself and I, have worked on even at practice. Like, Mike, you know, you need to get off this fashion to like change your stance, and he's helped me because this is my second year at Curtis. I came my junior year. And Mike, you know, helped me as much as possible. Like, hey, you know, keep your stance like this. You know, when this happens, you need to do this, and converting. It's just, he's an amazing person to talk to.
Last year, you had guys like Kenny Young was there, a linebacker with you guys. Duke Riley was right before you got there. But, you know, so many great linebackers have come out of John Curtis. How did the recruiting process that Kenny went through last year, Bo, help you this year?
Well, to be honest, I talked to Kenny a lot. Going through this process. Also, Montreal McGraw, he's a close family friend to the family, and he just, at this point in time, he said, take your time. When you feel like it's time, you know, pull the plug. Just don't rush anything, especially when, you know, you have multiple Division I schools looking at you. You know, don't rush anything. Take your time. He always stressed that to me. But I don't know, it's just something about Notre Dame that just made me pull the plug, and I was ready to commit.
Mike, your family comes from Curtis, and a lot of deep-rooted John Curtis. Maybe Dad having a great game way back at the Dome. How much has that played into you being a part at John Curtis, because your family is dyed-in-the-wool John Curtis Patriots?
Right. My uncle and my dad had went to Curtis, and we were number 20 on the, you know, and I wanted to pick 20 because all the coaches and a lot of people, you know, right when I came to Curtis were like, you know, they were hell of athletes and they were really good. And I want to be as good as they were and bring a positive influence into the team like they did.
Now, growing up, all of us have either a player or a team that we really followed when we were kids. sometimes as a player that we wanted to be like them, or maybe not like them, I don't know. Mike, you first. Why don't you tell me what team you really admired or you followed growing up? Could be college, professional, whatever, and perhaps a player that you thought a lot of.
Well, the coaching, the team standpoint, I always loved the Washington Redskins. Joe Gibbs was one of my favorite coaches, and I just love, being a nation's capital, and I just love, RG3's with him right now, really good quarterback. He's hurt though, and I just love Washington Redskins. And for the player's standpoint, I like Clay Matthews. He plays the same position as me and Bo, and he's a really good athlete, very tough, and always makes a little statement on the field.
Great. We got about 30 seconds, Bo. Favorite team or player?
I actually wasn't one of those people that actually had a favorite team, but Derek Thomas was probably way before my time, but it was an outstanding athlete. Just seeing him, going back and watching film on him during his time, and just learning a lot of things from him. So he was a great player.
Well, Bo and Michael, we appreciate you being here today, sharing your experience with us. We're at NOLA Motorsports Park here in Avondale. This is Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. Two great outside linebackers from Curtis. They're open this week. They got Lusher next week. We will be right back after this short timeout with two more terrific Curtis Patriots here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI, here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. Get on the track and get the feel for speed. We're here with two more terrific John Curtis Patriot athletes. Miles Washington first. Welcome, Miles. We appreciate you being here. And Hunter Dale. Hunter is a defensive back specializing in the safety position, and Miles is a quarterback that will probably be recruited as a running back. Appreciate y'all being here on PRI today.
Thank you for having us.
Hunter, I'm going to start with you. I know you pretty well. I know your dad real well. His dad is a trainer, is a speed trainer, outstanding, does a lot of professional athletes. First of all, Hunter, having been around the Colstons and the Meachams and the Devery Hendersons and Schylers, guys like that, how has that helped you, with your skill as a defensive back?
Well, that's definitely developed me into a higher safety than what a guy would be right now, from training with him, from running with him, from covering routes with him. Even if I haven't covered them, even if they beat me, it has put me at a higher tempo at practice and definitely in the games.
Miles, you've taken a big step back, and you're a running back, but you've become a quarterback and done a really, really good job. How tough was it to step into that role, and how did you have to change your approach as a player?
Yeah, well, honestly, switching from running back to quarterback in the Curtis offense, for me, it wasn't that hard. I've been coming to Curtis since the 5th grade, and I pretty much knew all the plays, but the hardest thing about it was just changing your mindset, because used to having the ball on your hands, and now you have to distribute it, and read defenses. That was the toughest part about becoming a quarterback, just, changing the mindset from running back to quarterback.
Let's talk about your positions and the requirements that are necessary for your position. Hunter, tell me what you have to do on a typical play as a safety in the Curtis Patriot 3-4.
Basically, we look at Coach Johnny every play and get the play. But that's just the play to set us off, to make sure everybody's in line. But once the other team comes out of formation, whether it be double twins, trips, or empty formation, I just check with my DBs, make sure they know what they're doing, give them a different call. And if I have to, I'll give a call to Bo and them, let them know what we're doing in case they got to drop back in coverage or they got to go under the tackle, so in case we're blitzing. But most likely, sometimes I got to look, if they're in trips, I got to look at the number 3 wide receiver and run with him. If he goes up the seam, I got to make sure nothing gets behind me. And sometimes we do cover 3 guys over 2 guys. It's just a lot of commotion going on until the play starts.
Right, because what people don't understand, for the most part, in comparing a 3-4 with a 4-3. In a 3-4, it is a difficult situation to coordinate the front with the coverage, making sure that the droppers are in the right place in relation to the safety and the like. So the safety position is huge in getting that done. And in the Curtis split back veer, you get to do a little bit more than just trot out and hand the ball to somebody and get back in the pocket and bounce around. Talk about your responsibilities as a Curtis Patriot quarterback.
Well, honestly, it's a pretty big role, I guess, because you're the quarterback, you're the leader of the team. But Coach JT gives me the opportunity to read the defense and change the play as I see fit, or change the play according to what the defense gives us. So it's just basically you read the end man on the line. If he comes down, you pull it and stay tight. And if he hesitates, you give it, and the running back pops and goes. It's the reads are pretty simple, but like reading the defense and stuff, that can get complicated at times.
Hunter, you've got 15 career interceptions. You really patrol that center field pretty well. Two-sport athlete, and you're pretty adamant. You want to play baseball. What is the recruiting process going for you? What are some of the maybe 3 or 4 or 5 schools that you're looking at? And when are you going to finally make up your decision?
Well, choosing my school, I want to definitely how they attend with me academically, socially, and athletically. Definitely want to speak to the baseball coaches, see how that will go, and both of them see how they would let me do both of the sports. But as of right now, I'm just focused on the season, trying to get another state championship under our belt, make all the guys know that we're on the same page. So I'm not trying to get my eyes away from this season at all.
Miles, you got some visits coming up. What schools are you considering now, and when will you make your decision? You may make an early decision.
Recruitment is wide open right now, honestly, for me. But I'm feeling a couple different schools like Louisville and Kent State and Southeastern. But I'm visiting Southeastern this Saturday for their homecoming game. But I'm just honestly seeing how every school fits me best, because that's what I'm gonna be for the next 4 years.
And baseball is also.
Yes, sir.
You'd like to play baseball if you could.
Yes, sir.
And that's something they do very, very well at John Curtis. They encourage their players to participate in as many different sports as possible, and that is a great situation, because after this year, it's not going to be a whole lot of that, is it, fellas? Right. Hunter, let's go with you first. A favorite team growing up, a team that you followed perhaps, and a favorite player.
College team that I followed a lot when I was growing up was Miami, because that's also my dad's favorite school. He's not a fan of colleges, but if he said that he had to be a fan of somebody, it would be Miami. And he said if he went to a Florida State Miami game, he'd be star-shocked, because he's never seen that many people in one area that are that famous. But I followed, and I also like the Ravens. That's probably my favorite pro team, because they're a defensive team in the NFL, and I love Ed Reed. Ed Reed is my favorite player. I try to base my game off of him.
As well you should. I had a chance to coach against Ed when he was at Destrehan. What a terrific play and a really good person. Miles, we've got about 30 seconds for your favorite team or player.
Honestly, I never really had a favorite team, but my favorite player of all time has to be Bo Jackson. To me, one of the greatest athletes to ever touch the baseball diamond or the football field. I just really like the physicality he brought to the football field, and the power hitting he had for baseball, and the great speed in the outfield. So pretty much any team he was traded to or he went to, I was a fan of the team just because of him.
Well, thank you all for being here today, Miles and Hunter, two terrific players from the John Curtis Patriots. They've got open date this week before they take on Lusher next week at Drew Brees Family Field. Get a good look at them. You're going to see a lot more of them before the season is over. We're in the Speed Center today on the second floor, but the Event Center here is a great place for your particular function, whether that be business or social. We will be right back after this break. Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI.